feel like most of the people who play video games start at a relatively young age. The first console I ever received was a Wii, and I just remember playing with my siblings all the time. I would constantly play Mario Kart and Super Smash Bros. After school and after playing sports, and that was pretty much my schedule: school, sports, and gaming. And I was really content with that schedule until I had gotten my own console, the Xbox 360. I just remember playing games with my friends all night, and it really didn't matter what game we played. And that's the thing. It didn't matter what game we played, it would always end in us laughing and just having an amazing time. And I really miss those times. As I've gotten older, it is much harder to play games with those same friends because, well, life. Responsibilities exist, people get jobs, families, and just move on. But that puts me in this problem that I'm facing right now in my life, because when I do get free time to actually play a game, there is just no one to play with. Instead of school, sports, and games, it's school, gym, job, friends, girlfriend, and then there's hobbies, which would put gaming all the way in 6th place. So what do I do?
And this is Jeremy, your only form of hellish entertainment.
Dude, if you do that again, I'm gonna punch you. I'm not kidding.
Well, there's really two options that I have. The first option would be to play single player games. And this is a spectacular option, but normally it's one that I wouldn't understand until later, because I really had no reason to play by myself. I would only get on to play with my friends and not play by myself. And as soon as those friends stopped playing, I stopped playing as well. And this is when I stopped completely playing. I mean, what reason did I have to actually get on the game if none of my friends were playing? But the more time passed, the more I realized how fun single player games can actually be. Growing up, I was always an extremely competitive person. I mean, any sport I would literally play, it didn't matter what it was, and I would try to beat you in it. And it definitely translated into what games I would play. I would only play competitive shooters with my friends, and all I would do in these games is just try and get better and better till I was extremely good at the games I play, but there really was no point for me being that good. I mean, I wasn't going pro, and I wasn't even old enough to go pro, so there really was no reason for me playing these games like that. And obviously, I'm not going to spend 20 plus hours on the game every day. It really wasn't my kind of thing. So I definitely felt a shift coming into what kind of games I would play, because there really wasn't any point into sweating into all these shooter games, so why don't I just try to play games casually? And that's what I learned how to do. Not absolutely sweat my dick off every time I'm trying to play a game. And also with this came learning how to play games by myself. Obviously introduced amazing single player games I would have never played if I had some people to play with. One of those games actually led me to create one of the most popular videos on my channel, a video I would not have created if I didn't finish Red Dead Redemption 2. Yo people, if you haven't. And I would have never finished Red Dead Redemption 2, a game I've always wanted to finish, if I had people to play with, because I wouldn't have played the Red Dead story, I would have played Fortnite or something. Just think of it like this: instead of just watching YouTube, scrolling on Instagram, or watching a movie, you could just play a single player game, which is pretty much also a movie. Well, some of them. And it's definitely a weird switch coming from playing only Siege and Call of Duty. Actually expand what kind of games you like. And to be fair, some of those games do have stories, like Call of Duty has campaign. If you like the campaign, you're definitely gonna love the Red Dead Redemption 2 story. It doesn't make any sense to limit yourself to these games, and there are so many options available. I mean, looking at Elden Ring, I saw all the reviews for it and thought I would never play that game ever. Why would I ever play that game? Then I got it, and I played it, and I loved it, and then actually understood why people love Souls games. There are so many options to choose from. Please, if you choose this option, just expand your horizon. You'll have a lot more fun than just hopping on the same game every day. Let's actually go back to option B. What is your other option if you don't want to play single player games? Well, the second option is to actually make friends with people. Making online friends, that is weirdo behavior. You gotta not think think like that, because I thought like that for the longest time. Like, no, I'm never gonna talk in game chat, that's weird. People playing are probably weird and never go outside and all this other shit. But the one time I actually did it, it changed my life. Okay, maybe I'm being a little dramatic, but the amount of cool people I actually would consider a friend from playing a game is crazy. There was this one guy I played with all the time, and it is really crazy how I started talking to him. Let's rewind back to 2015. The Xbox 360 was my console. I vividly remember playing NHL 16 on my 360, playing an online team match. Different people would control different players on the team. And for some reason, I thought that I should go into game chat. Maybe I saw that people were talking and I decided to join. Whatever it was, I joined the game chat and I started talking to this guy. And his gamer tag was Sliced Artist 47, and this was the gamer picture that he had. And I started talking to him. I was having so much fun, and I must have been like 11 years old at the time, and he was the same age, which is weird because I would expect someone to be extremely toxic, but it was actually the opposite. And he asked if I wanted to join his party. I said sure, and then we became friends, and we used to play games all the time. We had Minecraft worlds together. We used to play all these different types of games together, and it was so much fun. And eventually he started playing with my main group of friends that I would play Black Ops 2 with, and I actually became really good friends with him. But eventually we stopped playing together, and one day I just never talked to him again. But none of that would have happened if I didn't join game chat that one day and actually attempt to make friends. The craziest thing is I wasn't even trying to make friends, it kind of just happened. And I think that just ends up happening. There are so many games with so many different kinds of communities that you can join. Even extremely weird ones like Valorant at least have communities. You definitely don't want to be a part of that community, but if you really wanted to, you could. Having people you play a game with is not weird. It's only weird if you start making it weird. I mean, it is kind of weird if you're like 14 and you're playing with like a 40-year-old, but for the most part, it's not weird to play with people that like the same thing as you. And there's always option C, just stop playing the game. I just hate how gaming gets a bad rep when it's really not part of the issue. You don't need to be extremely productive every second of every day. That is just unhealthy and unreasonable, and it's never gonna happen. Gaming isn't really a waste of time because you probably would waste your time doing other stuff like watching TV anyways. It would be much better for your attention span if you can focus on a game rather than focusing on TikTok for God only knows how long. Unless you actually don't go outside and you just play Rust all day, that's different. But if you're a normal functioning human being, you're allowed to just relax. You can just play some games and relax. And I think that's what games should be about. It's about stories and making memories with your friends. It doesn't really matter what you play, whether it's with people or it's by yourself. Now you know what to do if your friends stop playing games with you. What am I, a poet? If you guys did enjoy this video, subscribe.